You know, for years now, I've been buying physical media from two main retailers. This being Australia's local JB Hi-Fi, and on the odd occasion, Zavvi, which is based in the UK. That's no longer happening anymore. Whether you've heard the news or not, Zavvi is not shipping to Australia anymore. You go on their website and they only ship clothing and maybe pop culture items, but no movies. So officially, luckily I'm already out of the steelbook game for the most part. It's like basically if there's something I like that happens to be at a secondhand market or at JB Hi-Fi, maybe I'll purchase it. But for the most part, I'm happy to not buy steelbooks unless it's a premium set, I guess, like 2001 from Manta Lab. So, yeah, that's very annoying for a lot of, purchasers of physical media in Australia. I don't find too much concern in it for a number of reasons. My main gripe, which would be the only gripe that most people I could imagine having, would be the limited stuff that's exclusive to their web store, mostly steelbooks in this case, which sucks. I've unfollowed them now; they can get fucked. They've for the most part, everyone's always said they've had bad shipping. There's always been shitty things about the company, which is fine because I have only experienced like 2 bad shipments ever from them, and if out of the majority, that's like 99.9% success rate. Every steelbook except for the King of Comedy came in perfect, and even the damage on the King of Comedy I was able to repair to some degree. It's still not the prettiest looking repair job, and honestly I didn't know that I could have just been like, hey, this came in damaged, can I get a replacement? Don't know if I would have gotten one, but I was new to the game then, but it doesn't really matter. If I ever see it in good condition at a second-hand market on like off eBay or whatever, I might buy it. But still, I'm hopefully going to benefit from the fact that there won't be many more steelbooks for stuff that I really like say if it's Blade Runner 2049 or The Thing. I'm screwed. If it's a film like that I fucking adore and love getting steelbook editions of, there is nothing I can do about that. But I've lucked out for the most part. Every single release I've wanted, I've gotten. I can't get Titans of Cult anymore. I don't really care to buy them anymore. I've sold most of my editions. Not most, I've sold a few of my editions. I can't think of too many other things. I mean, steelbooks are one thing, I don't care too much to buy steelbooks anymore. I've gotten out of the game. I'm content of just buying standard films as it is. But I don't mind at the same time. My issue, I guess, there will be further issues. I've just looked over and realised I have Scream 2 there on Steelbook, and I'm like, oh fuck, what if they release Scream 3 on 4K? Shit, what am I going to do? I think I'll be fine, because I'm content with the Blu-ray, and I'll just get the standard 4K at some stage for Scream 3 and Scream 4 whenever they come out, because, let's be honest, I have the standard for Scream 5, and I have the steelbooks for Scream 1 and 2, but I like the steelbook designs for Scream 1 and 2, so I'm content with having those. I really like Scream 2 as well as a film, so I'm happy to have that 4K. For the most part, I'm pretty happy to not be buying from them anymore. They've been up in their shipping a lot anyway, so I haven't bought from them for like 6 months now. Because it's just, I've had no interest to buy anything from them. Their shipping went from, it was like $6.99 when I was first buying from them, plus free shipping on steelbooks, which was always a fucking treat. They got rid of the free shipping on steelbooks, upped it to $8 shipping, or $7.99. And now they had changed it where it's like, they made it like, I think still $9 for postage, but you can choose to get free tracking, which was basically useless, but it was nice to have to some degree. At least I wasn't paying extra for it. And then they just kind of scrapped all of that and made it $15 postage. It may or may not be tracked. And that was like the flat rate with no extra added, like nothing else. There was no higher, no lower. $15 of postage. I'm like, I'm not paying $15 fucking dollars for postage, maybe even if it's just one thing. Because at the same time, they had offered me back in like December a like 20% off coupon. They're like, hey, we missed you, come back, we'll give you a 20% off voucher. Or maybe it was 15% or 10% or some shit. So I'm like, great, alright, we'll see what they got. Added 2 things to my cart. And it didn't work. The coupon didn't work, so I didn't buy from them. And I also found out that the 2 things I was looking for were actually cheaper on other websites. So this is where I bring the alternative. Zavvi may be gone, but what else is there? There's a lot of stuff. For locals in Australia, you've got JB Hi-Fi. They're not the best, especially if you want steelbooks. If you want steelbooks, I don't know, sacrifice a lamb or some shit. You're not going to get good steelbooks anymore. Like, unless you basically hope that Amazon is going to deliver a good quality steelbook, which, from my experience, they have, but at the same time, they haven't put them in boxes. They've just shipped them in a bag. Like, I got the Army of Darkness one last year from Amazon, and it came in good condition. There was no scratches, no dents. I was happy with it, and I didn't really need it because I also, in the same order, bought the standard edition with a sleeve, but I just wanted it because 2 different disc arts, and also I already had, like, the first 2 Evil Dead films on steelbook. I'm like, I'd kind of like the 3rd film just for fun. So my alternative, since basically leaving Zavvi, and I basically left Zavvi early last year as it was, I discovered that Amazon ships a lot cheaper, especially if you pay for Amazon Prime, but also they have everything a lot cheaper in general. They have sales on a lot more often, and just a lot. It's more marketplace value, so you could add something to your cart that's like $45, and the next day it could be $55, and the next day it could be $35. That's the only real issue, but at the same time, sometimes you might be really teetering on, I just want it to be below $45, and then the next day it's $42, and you're like, bam, I'm getting it, And then the next day it could be back up to 60 or some shit, so that's like my only real issue with Amazon outside of, much bigger global company. But if I can buy from JB Hi-Fi instead, or a local retailer, I will. Like I'm in Victoria, we've got the Cinemaniacs sell Blu-rays. They get imported stuff, which is great, from Criterion to Kino to other 4Ks and Blu-rays and DVDs. There's Play Music DVD as well. So there's, in Victoria at least, there's quite a number of places, so that's really cool. So, and they were the ones who announced, they had mentioned on Facebook, oh, we've just heard that Zavvi isn't shipping to Australia anymore, so hey, come buy from us along with physical media and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, well, of course I'm going to buy from them. I mean, I know them as, for one thing, which is great, but I also like their selection. From the occasion I'll buy from them. I just bought Texas Chainsaw Massacre on 4K from them, the second side release, because it was cheaper than buying it directly from the store, but they were getting it directly from the store anyway, so I'm like, I'll just buy from them. So, yeah, my best alternative is that. I stopped buying stuff like Arrow Video and Second Sight from Zavvi, because I realized, again, a lot cheaper if you don't buy it from Zavvi. I would be buying it directly from Second Sight, who pad the fuck out of their items, which is wonderful. Plus web store exclusives, even better. Same as Arrow Video. I know it's still done by the Hut Group, and if they ever bloody stop shipping to Australia, then I'm fucked, because I really like Arrow Video. But yeah, so that would be really shitty. But I mean, I feel like it would be a different can of beans, because that's a specific media retailer, whereas they'd lose a whole portion of their traffic. And maybe that's why they've realized it's cheaper to do from Arrow Video. I don't know. Maybe Zavvi's just not doing well in terms of shipping to Australia. It's too expensive. Leave it for someone else. I don't know what their problem is, but they're not shipping to us anymore for physical media. No more on their store, and honestly, I don't care. It's just, I only wanted to make this video as a FYI in case you didn't know. I'm assuming most people do know by now, and I've still bought a lot of stuff from them over the years. I got most of my collection from them. I get comments on the occasional video of mine saying, hey, where'd you get those movies from? And I'm like, mostly from Zavvi. So yeah, I haven't had really a bad experience with them before, and I've really appreciated that. Obviously, their shipping is still terrible, but I mean, I only had one damaged steelbook, which is very good luck on my front. Even if I bought duplicates to make sure none of them were damaged, they all came in good condition. So I've usually sold off the other one, or gave it to a friend or some shit. So yeah, it means I'm not going to be getting a lot of really, maybe expensive steelbook bundles. Like, I benefited from getting the Casablanca steelbook set last year from them. And even even Chucky. God, how am I going to watch Chucky Season 2? I'm going to have to find the Blu-ray on Amazon. A lot of these I'm hoping that I'll be able to find them on Amazon, because I'm really going to need to. So there's stuff like that for me. It's less steelbooks and more premium brands. If I look at my shelf, and I'm looking at it a lot, it's mostly Arrow Video. There are some steelbook releases there that are come in sets, again, like Casablanca, which, well, really hard to get unless you got it from Zavvi. You could probably get it from Amazon. I could get it from Play Music DVDs, but I expect it to be a lot dearer. So, yeah. It's tricky. I think this is a more affecting thing than, say, how in the US they're having that issue where, like, Walmart isn't selling Blu-rays anymore and whatever. And we do have some JB Hi-Fi stores in Australia that, especially in Victoria, there's at least 2 I know of that aren't selling physical media. But they are, because they're selling video games. They're just not selling movies. Like, they've got a bunch of other ones that are selling movies, which is great. But, like, 2 of the closest ones to me don't sell movies, which is ridiculous. But so I have to travel like an extra 5 to 10 minutes away from home to find one place that does sell movies. So it's really annoying for me personally. I just happen to be in that zone where there's no one selling movies. I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, that sucks, but yeah, it's, again, I feel like this is our equivalent to how the US, their Walmarts aren't doing the movie selling or whatever fucking retailer store they get from. But for them, it's a limitation of they're stripping them from shelves rather than not selling them full stop. Whereas Zavvi's just not shipping to Australia full stop. So they're still selling. They're just not selling to us. Which, my benefit will be the fact that I'm saving a hell of a lot of money of not buying steelbooks, and I'm happy to, if it happens to be like Multi-Use Falcon, I'm really excited for the 4K of that, and if it just happens to be, guess I'm just going to have to get the standard Blu-ray when it gets released in Australia. The artwork will probably suck, but, I can't get the steelbook artwork because they're not selling the steelbook in Australia. Or at least not shipping it to Australia from Zavvi. They might happen to have it at Amazon, if I'm lucky. I don't know. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my mindset on that. It sucks to a degree because it's nice having the retailer, but again, I've had no reason to buy from them for a while because their shipping has just gone up so much, and it becomes one of those things of, if the whole thing is so expensive to ship, I might as, and it's like just $15 flat, Australian dollars, flat shipping. So it's not like if I added more items, the shipping would bulk up. It's just a flat rate, which is fine. But still, it means that I'm like, I don't want to spend like $30 on one film and then have to pay an extra $15 for shipping just because that film is on sale. And again, if they did have a sale, their shipping rate is not a part of the sale. It's a whole extra thing. Same as at the Arrow Video Store, which sucks at the Arrow Video Store, but it is what it is. Most places kind of do that anyway, where shipping's flat rate. They don't apply sales to it. Anyway, that's all for now. Let me know your thoughts if you've bought from Zavvi in the past, if you hate that this has happened, if you're fearful now for physical media, or especially in Australia. Like, we're already bloody isolated, now we're even more isolated, so yeah. Anyway, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Adios.